Grayson Grundhafer did a heck of a job following the quarterback room and what Baylor was trying to get done. He's the one that also has written a story about Sawyer Robertson in the premium section of Sic'Em365.com. And I got to give Tim Riley some credit. He gave a lot of quotes from Seth Parr, the former Coronado head coach, on his quarterback. And I talked to Seth a little bit ago as myself. He's now at Anna High School. We're now joined by Sawyer Robertson, Baylor quarterback, committed to Baylor, has been at Mississippi State, on 365 Sports with Paul Craig, and I'm David Smoke. Sawyer, thanks for your time. What's your day been like after the big decision last night?
I was able to kind of put my phone down right after it and hang out with the family a little bit. But today has been a lot of phone calls, a lot of texts, and it's kind of been nonstop. But I'm all for it, and I'm happy to get to Waco.
Sawyer, I know that the last month has got to be pretty, a roller coaster for you. I mean, with the loss of Coach Leach, the guy you went to go play for, that kind of seeing how things are going to go at Mississippi State, making that decision, was there like an overwhelming sense of peace when you finally got to figure out where you're going to be now?
Oh, there's no doubt. And you're exactly right. The last month has definitely been a roller coaster. I can't even really put it into words, but, I'm it definitely feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and I couldn't be more excited.
So, Sawyer, take us into your journey now with Baylor and how this got started on your end, and just sort of where it led from, I guess, that initial communication and however that popped off to where you felt comfortable enough that these were the guys you wanted to play with and play for.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, being from Texas, I was able to keep up with Baylor since last season, since they won the Sugar Bowl. I thought that was pretty awesome. And then, it just kind of, the way I can put it is there's a lot of luck involved with, this whole transfer thing. Who is to say Baylor was even in need or looking for a transfer quarterback a month ago? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so there's just a lot that goes into it. But I believe God's got a plan for everything, and this is where it's led me. So I'm super excited.
Did Baylor recruit you at all when you were coming out of Coronado High School?
Yes, but it was kind of a weird situation, and I'll explain why. So I kind of committed early. I committed my junior year. Literally the week before. I think I had already made up my mind, and I was about to post it, and that's when I believe it was Coach Fedora at the time. I could be wrong, but he called me and basically just said that Baylor was interested, and especially in this business, you gotta have respect for people's times. And so I just told him, I was like, Coach, I already have my mind made up, but I appreciate you for your interest.
Sawyer, have you, since the decision, obviously Baylor's quarterback room was Blake Shapen and everyone else is gone, whether it's transfers, eligibility is out or whatever. Have you had any conversations or texted back and forth with him yet? And if not, what will you say to him when you see him?
Haven't had any contact yet. I did, follow him on social media just, because I wanted to, he's going to be my future teammate. And when I see him, I'll just, obviously he's a great quarterback, a lot of talent. Like I said, I've been keeping up with Baylor, and so I know all about him. And I'm really looking forward to working with him, learning things from him. He's got some experience under his belt, and I know he's going to make me a better quarterback.
Sawyer, who were you a fan of when you were growing up, like in your recruitment, or were you kind of not pointed in a certain direction, which is why you chose Coach Leach at Mississippi State?
You're talking about school.
Like when you were a kid, who were you rooting for? Because you grew up in Texas. I'm just curious.
Well, early, grew up in Lubbock. So okay. Early on, back with Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree, Texas Tech for sure. They were rolling. It was fun to watch. Coach Leach, all those guys. And then, kind of hit a dry spell after that. Texas Tech started losing games. Wasn't as fun to watch. But kept up with Coach Leach all the way from, went to Washington State and then Mississippi State. And, I just felt super fortunate for him to recruit me coming out of high school, because obviously I was a big fan of his. And, I just wanted to be I wanted to be one of those guys, that was in the same conversation as Cliff, Graham, Gardner, all those guys, just as being a Leach quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That was really cool to me, and that's ultimately why I ended up choosing to go to Mississippi State.
Do you still feel, even though that you won't get that chance anymore because you got that time with him, short though it was, that you are a Leach quarterback?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've already told people if I was in the same situation 2 years ago, I probably wouldn't change anything. That's what my heart was set on. And, I do feel very fortunate to have spent those 2 seasons with him, learned a lot from him, already have so many great stories to tell people. But no, yeah, he was so awesome. And I'm so blessed to have been able to get that opportunity.
So can you describe to us what being in the portal is actually like, and especially with really every position now, the portal is just so crazy. Guys are, flying left and right from one team to the other, but there's a premium on quarterbacks, and that was one of the big storylines of where a lot of guys would end up. So for you on your end, once you entered, how did all of that sort of unfold, and was it as crazy as it's portrayed to be for you, or was it otherwise? How would you describe it?
No, it was. I mean, it's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of luck that goes into it just because you don't know what's going to happen at any point in time throughout the recruiting cycle or the portal window or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who's leaving, who's staying, all that stuff. So there's a lot of luck involved. I mean, my experience basically coming from Mississippi, obviously, have a track record in Texas just from my high school career,
right.
My senior season, Gatorade Player of the Year. And so I was kind of banking on coming to a school in Texas. It's kind of just a risk you have to take. And it was one that I took, and I'm very fortunate that it paid off.
There's a lot of connections with your father, your grandfather. I know he passed away somewhat recently, but your father played for your high school coach's father, Seth Parr's father. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir, out in Plainview, Texas.
So there's that connection, and Coach Parr obviously had a hell of an influence on you at Coronado. He's now winning a lot of games at Anna. He mentioned that you might be you might be a better athlete than maybe some people realize. What does he mean by that?
I mean, I don't know. Coach Parr is kind of all over the place. I think, did he tell y'all to say that? He knows that.
I spoke to him, yeah.
He knows that saying that kind of gets under my skin a little bit. We've talked about it before. People say that I'm an underrated athlete. I guess I just don't look athletic to the eye. Kind of gets on my nerves a little bit, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. I'm faster, stronger, and more mobile than what everybody thinks I am, I guess. So
you don't feel like being a deceptive athlete is a compliment. That's a dig.
I honestly don't. I mean, I would prefer people to look at me and be like, "That's a pretty good looking athlete." Right?
I get it, man.
Well, we can tell you've got a little bit of that it in your neck too, don't you, buddy?
What's that?
You got a little bit of that it in your neck, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely.
So, when you look at Baylor and where they were last year, obviously they struggled. There's a reason why the quarterback room is a little bit empty. There's also a reason why they're looking, not a body. They're just not a body. What about the competition? What's the first time in your life you remember when you were younger, no matter baseball, which you played, or football, did you really remember learning that you have that competitive edge?
Honestly, there's not a certain time I remember, but I mean, there are just so many instances throughout my life. I just don't like to lose. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you could say very competitive family. My dad played baseball for the Expos, played football in college. My mom played college basketball. I'm just a very, I guess my family just, used sports to have such a big impact in their lives. And so, you either win or you lose, and, don't like losing. So you kind of do everything you can in your power, and it's competitive, man. I mean, just last night, we were playing board games around the dinner table, and, it's just, you compete. That's kind of what it means a lot in our family.
Who was the grandfather? What was your grandfather's name? Who was the Baptist preacher who just recently passed?
His name was Don Robertson.
How competitive was he, and how much of that did it rub off on you?
Well, he was extremely competitive because, I mean, you just look at his 4 kids that he had. The oldest one was a golfer at Wayland Baptist. The second oldest was my dad, who played for the Expos and played football at Texas Tech. Okay, the third was a college basketball player at Hardin-Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alicia Robertson was a basketball player at Texas Tech. She holds numerous records at Texas Tech. And, they don't just get that out of thin air. It came from their parents. And so I would say, yeah, the impact that he had on me was huge because, the impact that everybody in that family had on me was huge.
Sawyer Robertson, Baylor football commit, with us on 365 Sports.
Sawyer, I know guys cross paths a lot, like camp circuits or just playing each other regularly. Do you have any guys that you know or are friends with or just kind of acquaintances with that are on this current Baylor roster? Are you going to be coming in with some familiarity? You're just kind of the new kid in town, so to speak?
I would say for the majority, the new kid in town, there are a few people. I know Kyler Jordan. He's a defensive lineman. I played against him in high school. He went to Lubbock Cooper. He was a beast. I mean, he sacked me a few times, but my senior year we beat them, so I had to throw that out there. And then just a few other West Texas guys that go out there that I kind of talked to. And then just here recently when I was on my visit, I was able to meet a few guys, and so it's good to have those connections. But I don't think it won't take long to make friends and kind of get acquainted with everybody.
Sawyer, you didn't start at Coronado as far as your football career. Was it at a private school, a 6-man football program?
Yes, sir. So, I mean, I guess technically I didn't even play quarterback on that 6-man team. Really, I first started playing football my freshman year of high school. And that's when Coach Parr kind of took me under his wing and everything. And the reason I say that is because I played 6-man at a private school that my mom taught at. And so we went out there. Like I said, didn't even play quarterback. Hadn't really, I thought I was going to be a baseball player my whole life. Just kind of played football because I love to compete. And, it led me on this incredible journey to where I am now.
See, you should, when your coach says you're a deceptive athlete, you say, oh, look, I played 6-man football. That's basketball on grass, man.
Exactly.
Like, I'm all over the place.
Entertaining, a lot of points, a lot of action. I mean, like, that's all you need to know.
And your teammate, your best friend, was a football player at Tech on that same 6-man team?
Yes, his name's Charlie Robinson. He plays tight end at Texas Tech now.
So you had that athlete, you, and also your oldest brother was there, and isn't he a track star or runs like a 10-300?
Yes, he was the best player on the team, and it wasn't very close, So me and my buddy who's now at Texas Tech were doing a lot of blocking for him, and he just kind of ran all over the place, scored a lot of touchdowns. After the game, all my family members going up to him, congratulating him on such an outstanding game, and I was just kind of there, like, thanks, guys.
Remember me?
Yeah, no kidding.
When was the first time? Now, this is hard for me to believe. When was the first time you ever ate at McDonald's?
I mean, I've eaten at McDonald's. I don't know what all Coach Parr told you guys. I'm gonna be honest. I know where this is going. I've eaten at McDonald's growing up. Does it have something to do with the McChicken story that he told y'all?
I'm not saying anything.
I hadn't eaten a McChicken until like my junior year of high school, and it was really good. And he thought it was the funniest thing in the world that I hadn't eaten a McChicken.
When you visited your friend's house, how many of their snacks did you eat rather than the snacks your mom put together?
Well, my mom was always, and a lot of credit goes to her. Maybe I am as tall as I am because of her, but my mom was very healthy, getting all the organic foods, organic snacks, and it's just the fact that they don't taste as good as all the other snacks. And so whenever I was able to go to my grandparents' house or friend's house, that's when you kind of load up on all the real snacks, and you go from there.
All right, one more thing, non-football. How competitive are you as a fly fisherman?
Extremely competitive. It kind of ruins my day when somebody catches more fish than I do. But that's not just with fishing, that's with anything. I want to be if we're out catching butterflies, I want to catch the most butterflies. So
have you enjoyed
it is what it is.
Yeah, have you enjoyed today? You mentioned you opened up your phone, all of a sudden guys like me trying to get a hold of you, plus family, friends, people, teammates, etc. Has it just been, Paul mentioned it, you said it's been kind of a relief. What kind of a day has it been overall?
It's been great. No, it's been great, because I think it's just the excitement. I'm going to get to go to a very prestigious school, an awesome school, and I'm basically going to live out a dream that I've had since I was a little kid, get to meet all kinds of guys that I'll get to play ball with. And, I'm just so excited. And today's kind of felt like the first day of that journey taking place. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Of all the coaches on the Baylor staff, who have you spoken with the most? Is it Sean Bell, Jeff Grimes? Is it Dave Aranda? Who is that?
It would probably be Coach Bell. It would be Coach Bell. But, when I definitely spoke to Coach Grimes quite a bit and Coach Aranda, and, those guys are very impressive. I just love everything about all of them.
Sawyer, you thought you might play in the Big 12 with Texas Tech. You ended up playing. Of course, you will be at Baylor. Congratulations on your decision. Good luck. Good-looking career, what you had, and also can't wait to get to meet you down the road. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me.
Sawyer Robertson, Baylor commit at Sawyer Robertson 12. And